Hello, this is the first part of a 4-part tutorial to Cayo Perico Heist. In this part 1, I am going to cover the Cayo Perico Heist Intel collection for Elite Challenge only. This series includes secondary loots, but will not cover stuff like entry and exit points. If you do the heist finale solo, the cooldown between the end of the heist and a new start is 144 minutes, or 2 hours and 24 minutes. So after you complete the heist, after 144 minutes, be outside so you can receive the text from Pavel, and you can start the heist as soon as you get the message. Please note that you only get the message when you are online and outside Kosatka interior. I do not know whether other interiors stop this or not, but I know that Kosatka interior does stop the message. If you were offline when the heist cooldown has elapsed, when you go into the online, you need to step outside and you will receive the message after about a minute. You will have to do this even if you log onto after a month. The timer runs on the server side, but for you to start the heist, you have to step outside and let the server get that timer. There are two types of heist modes, hard mode and normal mode. Hard mode gives you 10% extra money. Normal mode gives you 1 extra life, while hard mode gives you no extra life. You can set the heist in hard mode while setup only. In order to start the heist in hard mode, you have to set it up within 48 minutes of the heist being available to set up. Again, this timer is server side and is not dependent on when you see the message. The server will make the heist available and you won't be able to access the heist until you receive the message. If you want the normal mode heist, wait 48 minutes for the hard mode times to elapse, and then set up the heist in normal mode. Set up the heist inside the Kosatka on the center table screen for $100,000. This price is irrelevant of normal or hard mode. Now on the Intel window, go for Gather Intel. I am only going to show you the basic amount of Intel that you require to complete the heist with Elite Challenge. The Elite Challenge is no death, no failed hacks, complete the heist under 15 minutes, all player full duffel bags. Sometimes the Elite Challenge shows do not get detected, but I do not know whether this condition is valid or not, as sometimes I will see it and other times I won't. Once you start the heist, look at what area you are supposed to head on the map. You will use the submarine to teleport to get closest to a location of velum. There are 5 different locations for the velum, and you will get to know them as you play the game and know how to best teleport to them. You can either go by Sparrow in a moonpool vehicles in Kosatka, or if you do not have that, request a dinghy outside the Kosatka and get to the shore. Once you grab the velum after killing all the smugglers, you will head towards the marker. Now, you do not need to head exactly to the marker. The marker is basically a wall that when you cross triggers a checkpoint. Pay attention to the altimeter. The small hand represents altitude in multiples of 1000 feet, while the long hand represents multiple of 100 feet. When you fly about 850 feet in an airplane, you get a top speed of the aircraft. This is actually coded into the game for realistic atmosphere speed experience of the aircraft. Now, you do not want to go very high as the checkpoint will not trigger and you will have to fly down to the checkpoint area, so keep the plane below 3000 feet. Now, this video contains guides for both solo heist and multiplayer heist. First, I am going to show you the intel that you need for both types. The solo players have to collect extra intel to get the secondary loot, which will happen after going to the communication tower and scoping out the compound. So let's look at the route for going to the communication tower. This is the most common route and this is shown by everyone. As soon as spawn in, run towards the bike and get on it. Go forward and turn to the right into this grassy area. On the map, look for those small buildings. You want to go around them. Once you cross around them, you want to head towards the street and cross the street. Be careful over here as sometimes a guard will come through here. You want to be on the left side of this camera, jump over this hill, and now over this big hill you want to be doing a wheelie which will help you jump over the hill. This hill is on a checkpoint, so you have to be crossing this on the left side of the checkpoint. You want to be looking towards this guard. He's currently looking at me, so I'm waiting over here till he turns around. Once he turns around, I will go and do a wheelie over this hill and go through this area. Sometimes I do this in one go, sometimes I have to wait. It depends on where the guard is looking. Once you jump the hill, you want to be going around this small hill onto the street and crossing it. Watch out for the guards around it. You want to be going to the street that is below this one or next to this one and then sticking to the right. You want to go through these hedges and aim for the gap between the trees. You will now be at the communication tower. When you get to the communication tower, look around for the guard around the fence on your map. If there is a guard, the communication box is above and you have to climb the ladder. If there is no guard, the communication box is on the ground. When you get to the box, you have to hack it. The hack is mathematically skilled but is easy if you understand algebra equations. The square with vertical lines represent multiply by 1. The horizontal line with two slanted lines is multiplied by 2. The x or the cross is multiplied by 10. Basically, you will get a target number and 3 different numbers with 3 different signs. Each number has to be paired with a sign and all the combinations get added together. Over here, the target number is 16, which can be seen on the top of the screen. So we have to find a combination that gives the number 16 on the bottom of the screen. If you do not know how to do this, look up Cayo Perico communication box hack guide. On your phone, open the Sightseer app and go right 4 times on cameras to get to the basement cam. In the basement, look at the primary target and move on to the next camera. If it's your first time doing this, just pan thoroughly through all the cameras so you get all the intel. Secondary loots are randomized, the locations are fixed, but sometimes they will be present and sometimes they won't. Now for those who want to do this heist with 2 or more players, you can move on to the next video. For those who want to go in solo, we need to find secondary loot to fill our duffel bags. There is a link in the description for all the intel that you can get for the heist. When you first land on the island, go to the hangar and take photos of the 4 loots. You can also scope out the airport part at the end of the intel if you want to head to the communication tower first. Then you want to go to the storage location across the runway. Take the photos of the 2 loot. There are some spawns for clothes near the storage location. Take pictures of them if you see any. Then you want to hop over the wall and grab this bike. Then you head towards the communication tower. Once you complete the scoping of the primary loot, you will head to the main dock. I have 2 ways to get to the main dock, either by parachuting or the bike. Both take about the same time, as with parachute you have to jump from the highest point of the tower towards the main dock. So if I am on the second last or the topmost point of the tower, I will just jump and parachute over the main docks. If I feel I will get there faster with a bike, I grab the bike, jump the hill, go through the valley, over the mountain and reach the main dock. Once you get to the main dock, you have to grab photos from 2 locations. I have fast forwarded these clips and spliced these clips to cover the content quicker. Next we head to the north dock. You need to get caught by any guard or camera to get sent back to the airport. Once you are at the airport, grab another bike or truck and head to the North Dock. At the North Dock, you scope two different spots, so follow this route and reach the North Dock.
As expected, I will mark this location.
You may also scope this one out, but you will need bolt cutters for this one. The cutting torch makes a tiny bit of sound and will alert guards if they are close by, so some spots need bolt cutters. Once you are done, return to Los Santos. You can do this by getting caught and get teleported to the airplane, or a faster way is to join a new session or join a job and then exit the job lobby. If you haven't scoped out the train entrance, you should do it, as this gives you a faster route into the compound, and you can also unlock the cutting torch. Follow this route from the communication tower to discover the drainage tunnel. Once you approach the drainage tunnel, you will detect it and automatically unlock the drainage tunnel entrance and the cutting torch. Thank you for watching. In the next part, we are going to look at the Cayo Perico heist preps.